Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to DCS World 2.9.22 and Heat Blur Simulation's F-4E Phantom 2 module. Welcome to Tutorial 3, Takeoff. Today I'm going to demonstrate the procedure for taxi and takeoff, including the different kind of checklist items that we go through, although there are actually not that many for this part of the flight. If I jump into the cockpit, you'll find that we are exactly where we were at the end of the previous startup videos, so everything is up and running at this stage, and we are ready to go. Things that we're going to check very quickly. Anti-skid is off, we're going to do that as part of the lineup checks. Our antenna is an upper, we'll go to lower after takeoff. We should have normal flow, normal, oxygen and oxygen on, that's all good. Stability augmentation should all be off. It is. At this point, actually, I'm going to go taxi light to on because we're about to move. And off on the right-hand side, we've got the IFF on standby. Pitot heat is off. That will come on during lineup checks. And I've got my lights bright and flashing. That's usually what I'm doing for taxi. So I think at this stage we're good to go. We've had the chocks removed by the crew chief, and he's left us at this stage, so we're all on our own and ready to go. So, thing to note, on the ground we're using the nose wheel steering button. You press and hold it, and then you can use your rudder pedals to steer. There's not really much else to cover at this stage. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to taxi to, I think it's runway 33. Let me double check. We're going to make a right-hand turn here and go all the way around. Yeah, we've got runway 33 today. So we're going to make our way there. So we're going to throttle up just enough to unstick the aircraft. It actually takes a little bit, around about 75% RPM usually. We'll get it rolling and then throttle back. We immediately test the toe brakes, which seem to be working. We're going to push in the nose wheel steering and we're going to go left and we're going to go to the right. That seems to be working just fine. And you'll also note that we're taxiing with the canopies open. That is traditionally what you do in the F4 because it gets a bit toasty inside the cockpit. So also before takeoff we're going to close those canopies, both front and back. That means that we do have a speed limit of 60 knots, and we also don't want to get too close to aircraft in front of us because their jet blast could damage the canopy. We also don't really want to exceed about 15 knots in the turns, and if the aircraft is very heavy, we want to take nice slow turns. Although, to be fair, judging ground speed in this aircraft is very, very difficult. I don't exactly know how you're supposed to do that. Okay, so around we come. There's some other aircraft in the process of taking off right now. Oh, here we go, and here's Jester asking us, we intending to go low today. I'm going to hit W to respond. I'm going to say negative. We're not expecting to go particularly low today. This adjusts how likely he is to jettison himself. And actually, for takeoff, I'm going to tell him to not talk to me. Because there's a bunch of aircraft around here, and he'll start calling them out as if we're going to dogfight. And we're not dogfighting. And in fact, all the aircraft around us are friendly. So there's no need for him to be yammering on. Okie dokie. So that's us. We're going to pass the threshold of runway 27. That's not our active runway today, so we're going to ignore it. And we're going to make our way all the way around to runway 33. Now, of course, we'd be in touch with air traffic control to ensure that we're not crossing an active runway here. And I have a funny feeling I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I'm going the wrong way. Ha ha ha! Okay, let's come around to the left here. This is where I'm supposed to be going. Dearie me. We'll just confirm that on the F10. Yes, I need to be going all the way around here. Cool, alrighty. There's not much else to do during the taxi, so I'm going to cut here, and you'll rejoin me when I line up short. Okay, you rejoin me at the hold short line now for runway 33. Actually, the canopy bow's in the way, you can't see it, so we're on Echo, runway 33. So we do our before takeoff checks and items just now. So AFCS channels all go to on. We don't turn these on during taxi because apparently the system's kind of fragile and bumping around on the taxiway can apparently damage them, which seems kind of crazy. We want to confirm that the flaps and slats are still down. You'll recall we did that as part of the previous video, and we can see here, slats out, flaps down. So that's all good. Actually, while I'm here, let's ensure that the pitch trim is set. We want it to be nose down 3 points, I guess, 3 ticks. I don't exactly know what these units are. Let's call it 3 units. So we've got nose down, and we want to make sure that we turn off our taxi light at this time. We want to close our canopies. So let's go ahead and do that. And Jester will do the same. Nice. We're all buttoned up. If I was actually allowing him to talk, he would tell us that the stripes are aligned and the lights are out and so on and so forth. So that's all looking pretty good. Anti-skid goes to on. The pitot heat on the right-hand side here goes to on. We don't want to turn this on more than 1 minute before takeoff, otherwise it will get hot. IFF goes to normal. And at this stage, we are ready for takeoff. I'm actually just going to set my instruments as well. I want this set for TACAN and TACAN. That's the kind of flying I'm going to do today. Nice. Alrighty, we're now going to do our lineup. So, off of the toe brakes and throttle up again just a little bit to get it going. And then we're going to take the center line. Just so you're aware, we're going to rotate at 80 degrees. And for rotation, we actually need to basically pull the stick fully aft and then start relaxing that pressure as we see the nose move. We want to aim for about 10 degrees pitch up. And then basically, as soon as we have a positive rate, we want the gear to come up. We're going to want the flaps up at about 180 knots. And we then want to climb away at 350 knots, at which point we'll lose the afterburner. We're going to do a takeoff with afterburner. And then we'll do our after takeoff checklist, which only has 2 items. It's very, very simple. Okay, so we're sitting here, we're on the toe brakes. We can use the nose wheel steering up to 70 knots, and then above that we're going to want to make sure that we're only using the rudder. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so we can see the instruments a bit better. It actually is quite hard to read this airspeed indicator during the takeoff roll, so I'm going to do our best. So 180 knots is going to be about here. Our 80 knots is basically almost as soon as we see the needle start to move. So we're going to hold it on the toe brakes just now. We're going to run up to 85% on the brakes. That's us. Everything looks good. And we're going to check all the pressures down here are good as well. We've got all our hydraulic pressures, oil, and pneumatics. Okay, so everything looks good. Let's release the brakes and swiftly move it to mil power. If we're happy with mil power, we now go full afterburner. Okay, there's 80 knots. I'm going full aft. Up she comes. So there you go, I released the pressure too quickly. We're now airborne and we get the nose up to 10 degrees. Gear comes up. And we're now going to bring the flaps and slats up as well. And we're going to come out of the afterburner. And we're already too fast. We're wanting to climb away at about 350 knots. So yeah, you can see that when we're lightly loaded like this, we very, very quickly exceed the speeds that we think we're doing. Actually, no, in fact, sorry, that was about right. I was reading the Mach number, not the airspeed. That's how difficult this gauge is for me to read right now. I'm not used to flying in 2D. So we climb away, and we make sure that we're trimming the aircraft nicely, so it's going to hold the kind of pitch that we want. That's great. After takeoff checklist, we're going to go ahead and change the antenna, which is actually really hard to see from here. I'm going to bring the throttle back for a moment. We want lower antenna, and then we would also set the anti-ice to whatever setting we want. But actually for today's flight, as you can see, we don't need any anti-ice. And that is us. We're up in the air and everything's going pretty good. I'm leveling off here about Angels 10. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. At this point, I'm going to go AFCS engage and altitude engage. And the aircraft will kind of fly itself at this point and I'm going to throttle back just to maintain about 350 knots. So it all happens very quick, as I said. Rotating at 80 knots, get the nose up to 10 degrees, gear up quick as you can. Flaps up in this configuration, you're going to want to get them up pretty quick as well, but you're generally scheduling them after 180 knots. You need everything in by 250 knots, and then you're wanting to climb away at 350, and then you can do your after takeoff checklist. So that was how to take off in the F-4E Phantom II. I hope you all enjoyed that. Fly safe, and I'll see you next time.